All right. Well, homegrown country number 3.
Nice.
We're
Okay.
we're getting there, aren't we? We're
We're getting
making
there.
more and more.
Yeah.
Got Anna Wescoat in here with me today. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing well, man. Can't complain.
I heard that.
This is nice.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing it.
I imagine so. Yeah.
You learn a lot sitting over here, just getting to ask all the questions.
I like it.
So tell me a little bit about you. You're from Havana, Florida.
I'm from Havana. Yes, sir.
And you've been doing music for how long?
Since I was about 3 or 4 is when I started playing the piano.
Oh, wow.
And then I picked up the harmonica about 7, 8. Picked up the guitar a few years after that, and then 25 other things after that. I play 30 instruments now, 31 technically if you count the kazoo. But yeah, been playing music all my life. I grew up singing and playing in church and stuff, like with my family doing the 3-part harmony and the Southern gospel and all that, and started writing songs. I mean, I wrote songs as a kid, but my first serious song was when I was 18. When my boss's grandson passed away from brain cancer.
Oh, wow.
And so I wrote a song for him, and then just ever since then been writing. So it's about 12 years now. I've been writing and recording and putting stuff out to the world. Yeah.
So 31 instruments. What is the a couple questions. What is the most unique instrument that you play?
Oh goodness, I don't know. Maybe
like one people haven't heard of a lot.
Oh, one people haven't heard of. Okay, well, there's one, if I can even remember the name of it. It's the cross between the saxophone and the recorder.
Okay.
And the name has escaped me. I think it's Zaffoon, is it what you call it?
Okay.
But it's got a mouthpiece like a saxophone, but the body of a recorder.
Right.
So it's real small. So I can take it somewhere and
let's pull that up, Jamie. Let's see what a Zaffoon looks like. I'm just kidding.
Spelled with an X. Yeah. I know most people probably have not heard of it. Xaphoon. Yeah, Zaffoon.
I watch too many podcasts. I wish one of these days we'll have a producer and I can we can do that. But
yeah, check it out later. I mean, I can't play it like super duper like fancy like some of these people can and like make it sound like a Kenny G solo.
Yeah.
But I can play it well enough to, you know.
Is that thing that has like the little bulb at the bottom and then it's like kind of skinny?
No, that is a oh, of course, the name escaped me now. It starts with an O, and I want to say oval tone, but I know that ain't right. But it's something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I need to get one of those because those are so cool looking.
Jack Black plays one of those. I've seen a couple things where he comes out.
He can play everything. Yeah, just give him something. Yes, I need to get one of those. Make that number 32.
There you go. Yeah. And what's the other one that you? It's like you just put your hands in it and it makes weird sounds. Have you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the theremin?
Theremin.
Is that how you say that? So the
theremin.
Beach Boys actually used one of those on a couple of their songs. Good Vibrations
that's actually been a legit
That is one of the most difficult instruments. If I could find one, first of all, they're really expensive. But if I could find one, I totally would invest in it just because it's so rare and hard to play that I want the challenge. I want something that's like really difficult. I've heard it's really hard to play.
I feel like you would definitely be the one to take on that challenge of the theremin.
If we can find one, maybe somebody listening, find me one, I'll do it.
I follow a guy on TikTok that plays one on live and he's pretty
cool. That's cool.
So your family is very talented as well musically.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about
your family. We all grew up playing. Everybody plays something. My brother plays mostly the radio, but he can sing really well. He just if we can get him to. But yeah, my dad is still leading worship. He's led worship since before I was born. At the Baptist church there in Havana. Nice. Plays and sings. My mom plays piano and sings. My oldest sister can play fiddle like nobody's business.
Oh, wow.
One of my sisters plays the drums and sings, and my youngest sister's like me, plays the piano. She went to school on scholarship as well, and so we all just have that sort of bug that we
have y'all ever like done the family band thing?
Oh yeah. We did a concert last year. We did a Southern gospel concert and came together and did all the stuff we grew up singing, and it's awesome. A lot of fun. I wish we could do it more often, but you know, as everybody gets older, we all go separate ways. 3 of us have kids now, and so it's life.
I bet the holidays they're entertaining. Do y'all come together for? Oh man, I bet that's so fun.
in an interesting way. Yes, with all the grandkids running around, and of course, like my kids are trying to get into music now too. And my oldest will be 9 soon, and he's got that same ear that I grew up where I could just listen to something and pluck it out. He can do that too. He'll listen to something on YouTube and then go sit on his little keyboard and play it.
That is cool.
I'm trying to encourage that as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you've spent some time up in Nashville.
A lot of time over the past couple years. You're
there like what, every other week almost.
I go there about once a month for a couple days at a time. Yeah.
So tell us what you're doing up there. What's going on in Nashville?
So I got a lot of friends up there that I co-write with. That's the big thing up there is co-writing and doing writers rounds, which every time I go up there, I do at least one round. I've played at the Bluebird a couple of times and met some really good people. That helped me put out the album, World Famous.
Right.
My buddy Ben Gerald produced that. He's actually from Dothan, and he's up there doing his thing at RCA and writing and getting kinds of cool things going. So I'm really proud to be working with him. But yeah, we're getting some new music. We got some stuff coming up the
Yeah.
pipe that
Okay,
I'm
that
very
was my
excited
next
about.
question. What you got in the chamber
Yeah,
there?
fixing to start recording a couple more singles here pretty soon.
Right on.
I'm putting some more music out into the world, some classic country stuff. That's kind of
Nice.
my jam. So,
Yep.
yeah. Now that I've got the album out and that's kind of gained some traction, I'm ready to hit the ground running and get some
Right.
more music recorded. So,
Yeah.
and that's the place to do it.
It
That's where the
absolutely
connections
is.
happen. So
Yep.
that's why I kind of been patient and just waiting on the right time to get back up there and back in the studio and do a couple more. So,
Cool.
yeah.
So tell me about your songwriting process. I know you do a lot of co-writing, but
Mhm.
you go into those co-writes a lot with like hooks or song starts or something
Yeah.
like that. How does that before the co-write?
Mhm.
What is songwriting to you? How does that happen?
For me, 99% of the time before I ever go into a co-write, I've always got a song start, meaning like a verse and a chorus
Mhm.
already that I've kind of fleshed out and just like, hey, this is what I got. Do you want to finish this one?
Right.
99% of the time, just because I've developed so many friendships, that's what ends up happening and we'll end up finishing it.
Mhm.
But for me, like songwriting always starts with the story or the idea, and I'll flesh that out and then take it, like I said, to the co-write session and see how they feel about it. And most of the people I write with is the same way. If they
Yeah.
bring something, it's like, hey, I've got this idea,
Mhm.
hey, play me a little bit of it. And if I like, if we're vibing, we'll finish it in no time at all.
So you start with lyrics mostly,
Most
or
of the time.
melody sometimes.
Most of the time, the lyrics for me come first.
Yeah.
Especially because I can just be sitting in my car and I'll just, hey, Google, and have it type out stuff for me. Because I
Right.
can, if a story comes to my head, I'm writing it out. Every now and then, because I play so many instruments, I will get an idea of a melody in my head and be like, well, that's kind of a cool riff. And I'll play that out and something that
Right.
will come out of that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Pink Cadillac. I had the idea for that sort of riff. And then that, I was like, you know what? I think this would be cool to add to the thing. And
Yeah.
it fit really well.
Oh,
But
cool.
most of the time, the story is first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I
Because
am
that's the
too.
star of the song.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Without the lyrics, the song really
right.
doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool. So tell us a little bit more about you're up in Nashville. What was the first studio experience that you had up there?
Studio experience was at Riverfront Studios in
Yeah.
Nashville, which the gentleman that owns that is, I mean, he's got a resume that you wouldn't believe. And so it was really awesome to get a chance to record in there with him. He is actually the bass player that did Tracy Lawrence, Find Out Where Your Friends Are, Find Out Who Your Friends Are.
Yeah.
He played bass on that song. And he's got just a track record of playing bass for all these awesome people that I'm
Wow.
like, oh, I would love to play with, like Winona Judd, like all these people that he's played with. And he's got an amazing setup there. And that's where we did the album, World Famous. We recorded in there with a bunch of other super talented session musicians that have played
Very
with
cool.
everybody.
Almost starstruck when you walk in there.
For sure. My
Yeah.
drummer was like, I played with Loretta Lynn, and so their steel players like, oh, I've played with so and so. I'm just like,
Oh my gosh.
So it was fantastic. That's Nashville for you. I
Yeah,
mean, you
and
can't go somewhere without, you can't throw a rock at somebody
Right.
that's done that.
It's so wild, and those guys just talk about it like
Yep,
they're
like
it's
it's
just
nothing.
it's whatever.
It's like,
Just
oh,
hanging out
that's
with
so cool.
Loretta Lynn
You're just
yesterday.
playing on my album. It's so cool. But yeah, it was a great studio experience because
Yeah.
they knew what they were doing so well that it flowed song to song. So
Right.
okay, let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next
That's so
songs that they
cool.
never heard. Like, hey, I just wrote this. Y'all see what you can do with it, and
Yeah.
it just
Seasoned
made it
veterans.
awesome. Absolutely.
It's just a next level talent. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just like, all I gotta do is sing. I just gotta show up and sing. That's all I gotta do.
Isn't it nice when that's all you have to do?
It was amazing, man. It was great.
Have you ever tried to record any of your own stuff at home?
I have, because the first two albums that I put out, I recorded in my own little home studio.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference in quality, which I'm not saying don't do that. A lot of people have a great setup at home.
Right.
Mine is more amateur, where it's just kind of like an acoustic recording.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with that, but that's how I kind of first started putting music out before Nashville was even on the horizon.
Right.
And so I put out Roots in 2020, and then 27 Years the year after that. And those are both albums that are just recorded at the home studio.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see, where it went, and just
Right.
kind of get my music out in the world and let people know I'm not just a gigging musician, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
And that's what started the journey. And it was all kind of, once I submitted that one song to Nashville, the Bluebird, and it just kind of took off after that.
That's cool.
That's
which song was it that got?
So it's called How's That Gonna Get Us By? And I
Okay.
did that Bluebird Golden Pick contest with that, which is just record a video of you singing it on your Instagram. I had never in a million years would have thought that was going to go
cool.
anywhere. I had written that song the same day that I heard about the Bluebird. This is 2 years ago.
Wow.
I didn't know Bluebird existed. I didn't know anything about it. And then I sent it in. I'm just like, yeah, we'll just see what happens. At the very least, they're going to hear it.
Yeah.
And I 2 weeks later, they're like, "Yeah, so you won. Would you like to come over here and play this?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, let's do it."
That's
So,
cool,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And the Bluebird is a famous. That's a
Oh, yeah.
notable
I have
venue.
since learned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've since learned how amazing, and I've played another show since then at the Bluebird that was just incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the songwriter's Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just
Nashville, there's two birds that I like, and it's the
Yep.
Bluebird and then there's Blackbird Studios.
Blackbird Studios, yeah.
If you've never watched the video tour of Blackbird Studios,
Mhm.
highly encourage that.
Yeah, I'd like to record there someday, dude. Yeah.
Have you
That's
seen
awesome.
they have like a reverb room? It's completely round and they can raise and
Oh my
lower the
goodness.
ceiling in the room depending
That's
on what you
cool.
want. That's
Nice. I'll
wild.
have to add that to my bucket list of places I'd
Yeah,
like to
for
go
real, for
record.
real.
Yeah.
Oh, so tell us about where you headed. What you got planned for the future? I know we talked about you got a couple more songs coming
Yep.
out, but like long term, what do you, because you're full-time music.
I am full-time music
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I retired from my job leading worship with my church
Mhm.
last summer to start kind of pushing this, doing this more.
Mhm.
Just because it got to the point where I had the opportunity to do it more,
Right.
and so it was time to let something else go.
Yeah, at some
And
point you're
so
like, if I can
this is
book
like
3
I
or
just
4 more gigs,
Yep, that's
it
and
makes
now I'm at that
sense.
point where I
Yeah.
just like there's no shortage of them anymore, and so
Right.
now it's time to turn things down.
Yeah.
So the way
Now
it's
you're
not a
looking
bad
for days
problem.
off.
It's like, but it's great because this is what I love to do. So now I'm doing what I know I was born to do, which is entertain. And so long-term goal for me would just to be able to make this my full-time living as far as like affordability to where my
Mhm.
husband can work from home if he wants to, and I can take this on the road
Mhm.
because I would really love to get the music out to more than just and I am getting out to other states, but
Right.
to actually take it on tour. My dream is to play the Grand Ole Opry. That's
Right.
like the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry are my top two. Like I
Yeah.
want to be able to play there because if I can play there, then I know I've made it.
Yep.
That's that's the that's the long-term goal.
Yep.
So
If you
yeah.
get to the Grand Ole Opry, you're doing something right.
Yeah, I'm doing something right. So that's the goal for me. And I think if I make it there, then I know that, the rest of it's easy peasy. I can
Right.
just keep doing what I'm doing. And I know if I keep plugging away the way that I am right now, eventually if it's meant to happen, it will happen.
Yeah.
I just got to stay true to myself and just keep putting out the music that I'm
Exactly.
meant to write. So
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So you're gonna play a song for us, but before we do that, I want you to tell everybody where they can go find more about you.
Yeah, so AnnaWescoatMusic.com is the place to find all the shows. I list at least 3 months of shows worth on there at a time. And then Anna Westcoat Music on Instagram, Anna Westcoat on Facebook, Anna Elizabeth Wescoat on Facebook, excuse me. And then I'm on TikTok too. If you find that profile, you'll find everything else.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So before we go,
Yeah.
a couple just rapid fire questions for
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
What is your go-to coffee order?
Okay, see, it has to look like chocolate milk because I'm not big on coffee flavor. So if I'm at like Starbucks or somewhere, it's anything with like peppermint or caramel or hazelnut, vanilla, whatever
Yeah.
they can flavor it up with,
Right.
so it don't taste like coffee.
I like white girl coffee.
Yep.
I'm when pumpkin spice is in style.
Yep,
Count me in.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Any of them flavors, man.
Hazelnut or caramel after that. So
Yep, that's me.
All right. What about your dream vacation destination?
Oh, Colorado, hands down. I love me some mountain time, man.
That's like next on my list. Me and my wife went out
you'll
to
love it.
California for our honeymoon, and then we're just kind of we want to make our way
Yep,
back.
I'm telling you,
across
it's
the United
nothing like
States.
it. I mean, I wrote a song about it. It's just
Yeah.
there's nothing like it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
All the way.
Dogs, all the way, man.
I knew I could
Yeah.
trust you. I knew I could trust you.
I'm a four-legged cat. You gotta listen to that song because that's tell you all
That's
you need
right.
to
Yeah,
know.
you do have a song.
Yeah.
And then do you believe in aliens?
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't?
Right.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yes, I do.
The government's fixing to tell us about them.
I'm telling
anyway,
you, you're gonna find out a whole bunch of things here pretty soon, man.
I'm
Maybe
telling
things you wish you didn't know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
What song are you gonna play for us?
I want to play a single that I put out a couple months ago called "He's in Love with the Bottle."
Okay, sounds good.
You see that old worn out Stetson over there at table 7? He'll be there all night till it's closing time, and the smoke is all cleared out. He's not another one-night lover or a restless, rowdy trucker. He's an ex-Marine, a fighting machine who went through hell and now he's in love with makes him feel. Craves it's something awful when the hurt gets too real, and he is pushed away. Won't you stay and try to bring him around? That he's been in love with the bottle ever since her love ran out. He puts $1 in the tip jar, tells the man who picks the guitar, play a waltz for me, the one from Tennessee. Even though it makes him cry, then he'll get out on the dance floor, holding nothing but a cold corpse and the memory of what they used to be before she said goodbye. Now he's in love with the bottle and the way it makes him feel. He craves it something awful when the hurt gets too real, and he's pushed away. But won't you stay and try to bring him around? That he's been in love with the bottle ever since her love ran out. Yes, he's in love with the bottle ever since her love ran out.